Well, tonight, continuing our journey through the Bible, we're in Revelation chapter 5, and we're still in that heavenly scene as we were taken up into heaven in chapter 4. As we are there in heaven, and we see the throne of God and the cherubim around the throne, we see the 24 elders enthroned, and we hear them as they're worshiping the Lord. And in verse 11, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you have created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created." We used to sing that. Why don't we give it a try? Can you remember that one? You've got the words in front of you, so let's give it a try. Thou art worthy, thou art worthy, thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory, glory and honor, glory and honor and power, for thou hast all things created, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are created. Thou art worthy, O Lord. You did great. I think I pitched it maybe just a schedule high, but you did all right. So, we leave now the attention of God sitting upon the throne, having declared his worthiness to receive the worship of the cherubim, because he has created all things, and for his good pleasure they are and were created. Now our attention is drawn to Jesus Christ. He said, "I saw in the hand of him that sat on the throne a scroll that was written within and on the backside, and it was sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book or scroll and loose the seals thereof?" So our attention is now drawn to the right hand of the Father there on the throne, this scroll that is there. And probably we're sort of getting adjusted to the heavenly scene. We didn't see this immediately, but now as our eyes are sort of getting adjusted to the whole scene up there, we begin to pick up details. And we see in the right hand of him that is sitting there on the throne, this scroll written both inside and outside, sealed with 7 seals. I am convinced that this scroll is the title deed to the earth. The title deed to the earth that was forfeited by Adam and Eve, because when God created the world, he created man, placed him on it, and gave man dominion over the earth. And having dominion over the earth, Adam and Eve forfeited that dominion to Satan when they disobeyed God, eating of the forbidden fruit at the suggestion of Satan. And as the Bible said, don't you realize that to whomever you yield yourself servants to obey, his servants you become. They obeyed Satan's suggestion. They became the servants or slaves of sin, slaves to Satan, and we all of us know the enslaving power of sin in our lives, how it can get a hold on a person's life, and how that there is nothing that can break that hold except the greater power of Jesus Christ. And we've all experienced that, our own weaknesses, our own failures. We've all experienced how that we have tried and failed at trying to free ourselves from the powers of darkness but we all have experienced also the thrill and the joy of the deliverance of Jesus Christ from the power of sin. So, delivering the earth over to Satan, it now becomes Satan's possession. He controls the world in which we live. You know, we often hear people say, well, if God is a God of love, then how come people are born with handicaps? If God is a God of love, then how is it that bad people often prosper and righteous people often suffer? If God is a God of love, and we hear this, why then, why then? But the reason why the problems in the world in which we live are so prevalent is because Satan is the god of this world. God created it, but it no longer was God's because God gave it to man. Man in turn turned it over to Satan, and Satan controls and rules in the world in which we live today, and thus it is very wrong to blame God for the tragedies and the calamities that exist in our world today, because man didn't want God to rule over him. And still today, men are rebelling against the rule of God over their lives. And, if we had an election between God and Satan, Satan would win hands down. If you really voted for how people are living, they choose to live after the flesh. They choose to follow after the things of the world. And by just the way they are living, they are voting for Satan's control in the world because he has control over their lives. I think of the story of the little girl who made a gingerbread man, and as she took him out of the oven, she took the frosting and she put the smile on his face and his round eyes and his round nose and the little buttons down the front. And as she got him all decorated, he jumped out of the pan and went running down the street. And she was chasing after him. And he called back and he said, "Run, run as fast as you can. You'll never catch me. I'm a gingerbread man." And he was right. She couldn't catch him. He had run away. And so she was so sad and so disappointed. Her little gingerbread man had ran away. And so as she was walking home disconsolate, as she passed the bakery, she saw there in the bakery window her little gingerbread man smiling at her. She went in and she said to the proprietor, "I want my gingerbread man. He's there in the window." And he said, "He will cost you 10 cents. She said, "No, you don't understand. He's mine. I made him." He said, "Little girl, if you want him, he will cost you 10 cents. So she went home, got out her penny bank and dumped out the coins and went back to the bakery shop and placed the coins on the counter and said, "Now I want my gingerbread man." And he went over to the window and took the little gingerbread man out of the window and handed it to the little girl. And as she was walking down the street, clutching it very tight, she said, "Now you're really mine. First of all, I made you, and now I bought you." And I think that Jesus holds you tight and says, "Hey, you're really mine. I first of all made you, and now I have purchased you, redeemed by the blood of Jesus Christ." We're his purchase. We belong to him. And so here we are in heaven. We're going to be talking about redemption, how Jesus purchased us with his own blood. So this strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book